A viewer told TV9 a man in an Iowa jail had been texting his teenage daughter, so he asked I9 to investigate. Chief investigative reporter Josh Scheinblum uncovered there's often little oversight in some jails to prevent these situations.
Well, it started at my friend's house.
It was late September when 13-year-old Caitlin Putz of Cedar Rapids received her first text message from a 39-year-old inmate at the Buena Vista County Jail.
Do you have any idea how he may have gotten your number?
I think people just put random numbers in and see if they work and see if people reply back.
That inmate was Joshua Thompson, a man with a lengthy criminal history that includes burglary, drug, and assault convictions. In each text, Thompson asks for money. Ron Putz is Caitlin's father.
I looked at the messages and I replied on her phone saying this is a 13-year-old girl's phone.
But the messages kept coming. Other inmates, it turns out, were also texting Caitlin, so Ron decided he'd text Thompson from his phone.
The reply was just send money.
When the messages still didn't stop, he called the jail, but that only left him with more questions. So Ron says he reached out to us.
And I asked them how he got the number, and they couldn't tell me anything.
Through an Iowa Open Records request, I9 learned that from September 22nd through October 10th, Thompson sent some 60 different requests for money. And they weren't all sent to just Caitlin and Ron. Most people never responded, but one other person did, and their message also suggests they too were confused by the request. And through our research, we also found out that the practice of inmates being able to text message from jail is more common than you may realize.
For example, the company that facilitates Buena Vista County's text messaging services, North Dakota-based Reliance Telephone, also does business with 56 other jails across Iowa. Buchanan County is among their clientele. Russell West is the jail administrator there.
At first, we were skeptical.
What changed his mind? Since giving inmates access to Reliance's devices, West reports inmate behavior has improved. Also, he was taught how to use the system's safeguards that make sure people in his position know who inmates are talking to.
Every text is logged. You can look at it. You have the capabilities to block texts or block phone numbers.
There's also a financial incentive. West says Reliance doesn't charge the county a dime. All 15 of their texting devices were provided by the company, and for every text message an inmate sends, a portion of the money made goes right back to the jail.
It goes into a inmate commissary fund, which in turn is used back for the inmates to offset the cost of medical, mental health, also any prescription drugs.
Inmates can text money requests for free. Any other message requires they have money in their individual Reliance account. If they receive a text and have no money, all they can see is the number that tried reaching them. That's the case even if the person on the outside texted the prison device by mistake. Records obtained by I9 reveal that's how Thompson was able to get in touch with Caitlin.
Yeah, that should have been caught. They've got the system to monitor them. That's what we have the system for.
Scenarios like this is why West believes oversight is key with any prisoner texting program. He tells I9 that Buchanan County always has at least 2 to 3 staffers monitoring inmate text messages. That's not the policy in Buena Vista County.
I do not have the staff to do that.
Jail Administrator Marty Duluth says inmate text messages are not routinely reviewed.
So nobody was monitoring other than when requests were made.
DeMuth did tell me this story has forced his agency to take another look at their policies. And this month, he says, he, along with other members of his team, are taking a closer look at what some of their inmates are texting. We also wanted to find out just how much money Reliance has paid out in the last year to jails in Iowa for text messaging. But our calls and emails have gone unreturned. What we do know, between Buchanan and Buena Vista counties, Reliance shelled out more than $2,600 last year. Beth?
All right, thank you so much, Josh. Very interesting.